Hey, what's up YouTube? This is the Bold Speed Gamer back again with another Pokemon Black and White 2 Wi-Fi battle. This is a mono match I had against one of my friends, and basically what it is all of your Pokemon. If you don't know what this is, it's all your Pokemon are at least part of a single type. I'm using a Sandstorm ground mono team, and my opponent is using a normal team, a mono normal team. So I'm using Hippowdon, Camerupt, Torterra, Gastrodon, Garchomp, and Gliscor. So that's my team. My opponent has Chansey, Togekiss, Sawsbuck, Kecleon, Exploud, and Beedbarrel. So that's my team, that's his team. And so we start off with, he starts off with his Chansey, and I start off with my Hippowdon. This is very good because this means I can negate any leftovers he has, and for the Pokemon he doesn't have leftovers with, I can do damage to them periodically every turn. Now I figured he was going to go for the Toxic the first turn, so I just went into my Gliscor to take the Toxic, and I don't even have to wait for the Toxic or boost or whatever. So that's very nice. So I start off and I go for Protect, and he goes for Air Slash. I just was scouting out to see what he was going to do. This Togekiss this is a big threat to my team, so I need to take it out first. So I'm really hoping I can sort of bait him into thinking, oh, I'm not that big of a threat. And so I'm basically just going to try to stall this thing out and take it out with Fire Fang, because Earthquake won't do anything. So I'm basically just trying to get my HP back up so I can take another Air Slash. I go for a Fire Fang, and another Fire Fang, and I end up getting the Burn, which is very helpful. And he goes for Roost, which is very annoying. So the problem is though with this Gliscor is it's one of the biggest threats to his team because it can take any physical hit his team has, and it can also take out the Chansey with the Swords Dance boost and everything. So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing it's not going to work, so I'm going to need to up my power a little bit. So I go for another Swords Dance, so I'm up to +4, and he goes for another Roost, which is very good because it didn't heal him that much, and I got a free Swords Dance up. So now I'm up to +4, and he's back to full health, and I'm back to full health. So we're basically back to square one, but I have a lot more attack power. So I use the Fire Fang, and it takes a huge chunk out of him. And then this happens. He gets a critical hit, which was just horrible for me, because I could have taken this thing out here and now. But I'm like, there's one thing I can do to take it out now. It's low enough that one Outrage should be able to take it out with a Choice Band, and it's from a Choice Banded Garchomp. So I go for an Outrage, and he actually switches out into his Chansey. And this thing is going to die next turn if he doesn't switch it out, which is beautiful for me, because I know I can outspeed it. So I'm basically just wrecking his team with this Garchomp. So I end up taking out the Togekiss, which is beautiful, because that means that I will not have to worry about this Togekiss anymore, and now I can basically wall his team with Hippowdon, and I can also start damaging them severely. So I go for the Stockpile. I'm basically going to start to set up, I'm going to want to set up Hippowdon and then just start basically sweeping his team with Hippowdon, like I did in match number 3. He goes for the Ice Punch, and I take it like a monster. Hippowdon is so defensive, it's amazing. So then he goes into his Beedbarrel on my second Stockpile, and so he goes for his Beedbarrel also has leftovers, which is really annoying. Then he goes for a Waterfall, and I was kind of concerned about how much it would do. It ends up not doing too much, actually. So this means I can, and looking at that damage, I can actually end up taking out the Beedbarrel. However, he goes for a Curse, which, thanks to his ability Simple, it actually doubles his attack and defense. So I'm not going to be able to take him out this turn. Then, for some reason, I went for the Roar. But I could have outsped him now that his speed is also halved, because Simple basically doubles the effect of any stat changes that you have. So now I realize I can actually outspeed him and just go for an Earthquake rather than have to take these Waterfalls. and I can take down his B-Barrel, which is another huge threat because of its grass typing to my ground team. Grass typing, water typing. And this Sawsbuck is also a big threat because of its grass typing as opposed to the water typing of B-Barrel. So he goes into a Sawsbuck, then pulls it out for some reason as I go for a Earthquake just to sort of see how much it does. Then I get a lucky critical hit revenge. He said it didn't matter. I think it actually did a little bit, but that's just the way the game rolls. He goes back out into a Sawsbuck and goes for a Horn Leech. And I'm going to just start Earthquaking this thing to do him as much damage as I can. Hippowdon is actually not incredibly useful to me anymore. So I'm basically just going to keep staying here and keep going for Earthquakes. Just to do as much damage as I can with it anymore, because it took care of the two big threats, which is Chansey and B-Barrel. So I have no real use for it anymore, so I'm just going to stick with Earthquake. Just keep doing damage. I'm not even going to bother to heal, because that'll give me a free switch in to pull out my Garchomp, which can, with his Chansey and Togekiss both out of the way, I can basically just outrage his entire team. Because those are the two big walls that are stopping me from, obviously, finishing my sweep. So now I actually end up living, and he goes out into his Kecleon, goes for a Fake Out. It actually doesn't really do that much, even. So I'm going to go for a Earthquake on the Kecleon, and it's going to turn it into a Ground type. So the Sandstorm's not going to affect him next turn, and he goes for a Ice Punch. And it brings me down to 50 HP. Come back up a little bit with leftovers. He comes back up with leftovers. Then he goes for another Ice Punch, and it doesn't quite actually take me out. So he switches out, or I actually roar him out into his Exploud, because I didn't want him to have that, what's it called? What's the word? Sandstorm protection thing. Then his Exploud ends up going for something, I missed that actually, and taking out Hippowdon. I go into Garchomp to go for the Outrage, and I'm able to one-shot this Exploud. Then he goes out into his Kecleon, and he goes for a Fake Out, which is going to do some damage, but thanks to my rough skin, it's actually going to hurt him some as well. And then he's going to come really low because of the Sandstorm. Then he's going to go for a Sucker Punch. I'm still going to live it, and due to my rough skin, this Outrage is easily going to take him out. So yeah, that was the match. It was a fun match. It was a mono battle Pokemon Wi-Fi match number 23. Thanks for watching. I also have a plan to do Battlefield Heroes videos soon. I almost have enough money for Fraps. The full version, what I used for my trailer, was the demo. So then I can start uploading full Battlefield Heroes videos. So yeah, thanks for watching. What I wanted to do for the question of the day was, what is your favorite Pokemon type? Now, I normally answer these, but I'm not actually going to answer this one because I actually have planned in the future a video of my favorite types. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.